How to get your first gigs as a guitarist. Make sure you stay all the way to the end because the most valuable tips, as always, are at the end of the video. Before we get into it, make sure to leave a like, and if you find value, make sure you subscribe because I've got one of these coming out at least once a week for the next year. They're all scheduled, so yeah, lucky you. So who am I to talk about this? I've been gigging for the last sort of 18 months and I've gone from no gigs to replacing a full-time accountancy income, and now I get to do what I like to do in the days, which is chase gigs, play music, and yeah, just chill, and then play gigs in the evening, and I basically never have to work, so well worth paying attention to these tips. Tip number 1, find singers that need musicians. The easiest way by far to get your first few gigs is to find a singer that's already doing gigs but maybe with a backing track and wants to do more sort of lunchtime style gigs. They'll need a guitarist for that. You're perfect to jump in. Make sure you play a similar style of music to they do. You can work, it will take maybe 3-4 sessions together to get together a set list. Once you've done that, you'll be able to easily play gigs, and there you go, you've got some gigs and you've just started and you've already started building up your income. Socialising with other musicians is really important because not only does it give you an insight as to more like musical tips that you can apply to your own stuff, they have really good local knowledge of local venues, local pubs, and they're able to tell you where to avoid. I've said it before and I'll say it again, playing a bad pub is not worth it. Like, you can get treated unfairly and it's just not a good experience for you. So having that local knowledge of musicians from musicians that have been playing the circuit for a while is invaluable because it will save you so much time, and if you get a bad review somewhere, you're likely to not get gigs elsewhere. So play everywhere that will give you a good review and have you back, then it's a win-win. Play open mic nights. I say this time and time again, but it's so important. Open mic nights are the gateway for most musicians. You can socialise with other people, you can practice your own stuff, show off your skills, and you can play in pubs that might also put on gigs. If they see you and they're impressed and they want to put on stuff over a lunchtime where you can just be like a backing guitarist, then great, you can go for these places and they'll probably give you a gig. If you want to do more evening type work, sort of playing as part of a band, you can meet other musicians if you're not currently in a band, where you'll then be able to get evening gigs and put together the band and just, yeah, everything will be great. Very important, this one, go to local jam sessions. Jam sessions are great because you can meet other musicians, jam along, maybe even get something together, but again there's that element of being social and finding out more about the local music scene. You can ask local musicians where they've played and where they think your music would suit best. Musicians, in my experience, always want to be really helpful. Good general tip for just the music industry in general, everyone likes to help each other. It's not a sort of, if I've got a gig it means you can't. If I've got a gig it means I can bring you up and maybe get you a gig as well. That's the sort of environment that I found musicians generally like to foster. Other musicians might also let you support them if they're going on to do sort of a stage gig or even a pub gig. They might let you come on and do a few songs with them. This can be a really good introduction for you to meet pubs and get introduced to venues. A lot of these musicians that play at jam sessions and at open mic nights could actually physically introduce you to certain pub owners and certain venue managers that might decide to put you on. Well worth doing. If you found value in today's video, make sure to leave a like and also subscribe, and I'll see you next week. Goodbye!